It is Tuesday, and we're back, and I'm back from my trip, and my cat is on the mend. He's in Corey's lap right now.
I've never had a cat. Cats don't like to sit on my lap, so I'm like in.
He doesn't, but now he does. So if you guys didn't know, Frank is my cat. I adopted him back in May at Corey's behest, and he has been I came back the other day and he didn't catch himself in a jump. And I said, that was funny. By the next day, he couldn't walk. So it turns out he had an inner ear infection in
Which
cats.
apparently is super common. But
super
it
common
just was
and super common in Persians. And even the vet's like, it's wild for owners to see an animal not being able to walk. However, it's an inner ear infection. Just give him these drops and some oral antibiotics. Was gone for almost a week. When I came back, he wasn't even eating food. So I rushed him to the emergency vet, and that vet said, you've been treating the wrong ear, which I know that she wanted to say it's your fault. I said, I brought the medication from the other vet, and it says the other ear.
So he has a super healthy one ear.
One
really
super
bad
healthy ear. Anyways, since Wednesday, that was Wednesday at midnight, I was out till 2 a.m. with him. He's really come back around. But they said that ear infections in cats take about 4 weeks to clear up, so it's 4 weeks of wobbliness, which has turned him into quite a docile lap cat. And Corey capitalized on that by having him in her lap.
Oh, he's weird. Okay, keep going.
So this is the Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. It hails from a group on Facebook called the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, where we're able to see a lot of comments and posts made by bakers and bring that to podcast land. And I know some of you are missing our marketing nuggets. This week, we wanted to talk about how the Grinch Saved Christmas. Yes. This is a high-stress time for bakers.
Listen.
In a delicious way. We wait all year for this.
You're surrounded by sweets, but your heart is Grinch-like.
This is our Super Bowl. If you look up trends.google.com and you type in sugar cookies, the spike in searches for sugar cookies is, I want to say it's something like 5 to 10x more than the rest of the year. It makes January look like we're not even moving.
The doldrums.
Yeah, the doldrums of January. So December is wonderful, but as wonderful it is also taxing. There's no, and you have the ebb and flow of some businesses that, okay, car sales, maybe a little slower, maybe a little faster in some time. Home sales, we know spring market. Yeah. Landscaping is going to spike in the summer. Right. With bakers, it's not even a competition. December is it.
It is.
You could set up your whole year for what happens in December, but it's also so taxing because we still have the same amount of people working.
Yeah.
We just have a tremendous amount of orders. Enough that a lot of bakers turn away orders, but for the orders that we do take, it can be overwhelming.
It can be overwhelming where we almost get resentful towards them.
And because the other side of the coin is, not only am I making your Christmas better, I'm sacrificing what I want to do for Christmas. And I haven't seen my kids.
And it's like you against the customer, even though you took the weather.
Right. So it's easy to turn into the Grinch. And we start seeing posts around this time like, I'm such a Grinch. How should I reply to this?
Yeah.
My printer
is doing some updates.
We're all working today. So how do we stop letting the Grinch steal Christmas?
Here's a case in point. Heather saw it on the walk this morning. I have my Apple Watch, so my watch wasn't with me, but my Apple Watch was there, and someone sent me a text message and said, I just wanted...
Phone wasn't with you. You said my watch wasn't with me, but
my watch was with me, phone wasn't with me, and I got a text that came to my watch, and it was like, hey, just wanted to get an update on the order. Heather was there.
Corey immediately, eyes rolling in the back of her head. Corey's like, I just squeezed her in. I shouldn't have even taken this order. Now she's becoming a thorn in my flesh. And then I saw Corey pause, and she's like, you know what? I am this person's only baker. Yeah. This is an important order for her. This is a lot of her blood, sweat, and tears and money. She's given to me, and she's trying to make sure she can trust me.
What she's not thinking of is she's not my only customer. Because she doesn't have to think about that. That's why I'm the baker.
When I go to a business, I want to be the first in line. I want to be treated like you've only worked on one car this year and it's mine.
Absolutely.
Right. I don't want to be a line of oil changes and I'm just a number, right?
Yeah, because when you're treated like just a number, you're like,
I don't like this. There's a lot of other places that can be treated like less than just than just a number.
You're right.
So, and less than just a number.
A lot of times it comes down to being self-aware.
Self-aware.
So that's what this podcast is about, is how to become a little bit more self-aware and a little bit like Grinch.
So kind of starting off with where Corey kind of found herself this morning is email and communication. That's going to be at the forefront here, and it's going to be what suffers the most. When we have an influx of orders we have to fulfill, the communication being behind the computer takes the backseat. So this is where you're kind of find that stress point for a lot of bakers. I was telling Corey today, you start baking or you start any company and you're like, to get somebody to give me money is such an enigma. When you've been doing it and you're adept at selling, you're like, selling was a fun part. Baking is like, how am I going to do this?
I know, we switched because we're like, if I could just make one sale.
So some of you bakers listening, this may be your first Christmas and you're like, I don't know how to sell anything. You'll come back here next year. If you practice the principles we talk about and be like, oh man, I have to actually bake it. I like selling it. And that's the fun part of this. So, okay, now we're in this flip side. A lot of us have been doing this for a while. Now we've got to bake.
Yeah.
But now we still have that inbox. We still have that communication style that they're used to, but we don't have the time. So Corey says if a client is upset, which it's not if, it's when, right? Yeah. And extremely so in this time where there's a lot of things that we can miss because there's so many orders, there's so much going on. Give yourself 24 hours before you reply to an upset client.
Yeah.
I know we have that thing, and I can feel it myself when someone gets upset with me. I'm like, well, let me address this now. I don't want to think about it.
Right.
But we get too much emotion in there, and it escalates.
Especially
the problem.
when your heart's 3 times smaller.
When you don't have any empathy, you're going to reply in a way.
It's going to be snappy. It's going to be snippy. It's going to be straight and to the point, defensive. Not coddling.
All of that, and Corey and I were talking about it. When you tell someone they're wrong, they have to either admit that they're wrong, which is impossible for most people, or defend their stance
They'll
to
have
the
to
death.
Cloak up their armor,
right?
Grab their sword.
Let's fight this time. I got more time than you. So if a client's really upset, give yourself 24 hours, unless you can respond with grace or unless you can have a husband or spouse right there. I run some of the stuff I write. Corey, am I too much? And she'll be like, oof, spankings.
Yeah.
And an email. Darn. Backspace. But for follow-up orders, so let's just say like Corey, the lady today, Corey didn't set the expectation that, hey, just so you know, when you have any questions, give me about 24 hours. It is a busy season for me, but rest assured, I'll definitely get back to you.
Yeah.
I know you're thinking, well, you just said put them first, make them think that they're the only client. In reality, they're not.
They're not.
So we've got to give ourselves a little bandwidth here to say, hey, I'll respond within 1 hour. You're setting yourself up for now an angry client.
Yeah, but what I've done is lowered her defenses by saying, give me a day and I'll get you an email. Sorry, kitchen has held me hostage. She said, no, completely understand. Don't apologize, please.
We don't want to say, your call is important to us. Please wait for the next available. We want to be a little bit more authentic, but we also want to say your call is important to us.
And because we are bakers with the best intentions, if saying to yourself, I'll get back to her today, so I won't say anything right yet, and then not getting back to her, what you're doing is creating yourself a problem down the road. So it's fine to get in front of the problem and set an expectation so that everyone knows where the lines are.
Yeah. So for follow-up, set expectations. Now here's the one, and Corey threw this in here regarding... especially because we're big into using Facebook Planner. I love scheduling stuff out. It works when I don't have to. The problem is when we have Facebook's Planner or scheduled posts saying, buy for me, and then we have people saying, I'm trying to, you're not replying to me. There's a little bit of an issue.
Do you see where if I'm trying to give you my money and my order I've submitted is for January 15th, in your mind, you're like, I have a month to get to it.
Yeah, I'll reply to her on January 1st, plenty of time.
Yeah.
But then we're like, buy for me. And they're like, I'm trying to. I see that you're asking for sales over here, but I'm trying to inquire and I haven't heard back from you. So there is kind of that time here. Just make sure people get replied to. If somebody is placing an order for February, say thank you so much. I'll follow up with you in January.
And that's where I'm already seeing my calendar is closed through December and the January's orders are coming in. And to me, I'm so busy baking.
Surely they understand.
Surely they don't. They do not.
They're
it's
like,
up to
I
me.
haven't heard back from you. Because in their defense, they have to secure we punish our clients for not understanding. They have to give us runtime, and then we punish them for saying, "I haven't heard from you. I clearly have to give you
have
runtime.
A month. You gave me a month runtime,
right? And if you can't take it, I need to find somebody else." Yeah. So it's the back and forth there. So in this time, you will get behind on emails. Don't get too far behind where it's a problem.
Yes,
right. And I find if you do, you or me. I find myself there, and I'm always saying, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize my cat was at the store.
I want to say things like jot form, keep them in order and organized.
I do like that. So you can just go through it.
So you can go through and make sure first dibs, first served. Facebook Messenger is where things get lost in the sauce.
And you can listen to a million podcasts where we say funnel them to an area where it's very easy to manage. When people message Facebook page, Facebook profile, Instagram
text,
message, comments. It's really hard. So you just kind of, and we talk about that, funnel them all to that form. Hey, thank you so much. If you fill out this form, I'll make sure I can get back to you. Corey even said, I don't even check my messenger messages because my autoresponder tells them how to get a hold of me. If they're not going through that, they don't like something about that form, which means that I can't take their order. And that's hard to do because we work so hard to get these leads.
I know. And you know what? I had to break up with the fact that I was doing myself a disservice by taking their orders via Messenger when my thing says to place an order, click this link.
And you guys always know the fastest way to a sale is the shortest distance from A to B. So Corey's adding in a layer of funnel, but she knows because that adds in the calendar availability.
And you guys know in the past podcast where I took an order outside of my form and I messed up, I lost money.
Corey lost money. So it's that always like, hey, how can I make the sale? Just taking a messenger is going to be the most efficient way to make that sale. But in reality, is it going to cost you in terms of organization?
It might not cost you this one. It might not cost you next one. It'll cost you.
Yeah, we'd all love to be the perfect business owner with the perfect marketing, the perfect website. There's something's got to give. Something's got to give.
It's going to be you.
Yeah. So that's number one is kind of monitor how your email response is. If somebody just wants an order update, let them know you'll get back to them in 24 hours and do that.
Yeah.
If you need the 48, you can do that as well. It's a little rough. You may get some people a little upset. If someone's really angry at you and you're very worked up because you're tired and cranky, we only have so much bandwidth for emotional empathy.
Yeah.
Maybe give yourself the 24 hours to take that respite and then come up with that.
Well, you know what I learned? We are not doing brain surgery here. Cookies have never killed anybody.
No one's passed away.
Maybe an allergy.
No one's passed away from not getting response.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
And then if you are constantly pushing sales because you scheduled out these posts, don't be afraid to delete those.
It's okay.
If you are truly booked.
Absolutely.
You can just go back in and change the description.
And you're like, but twins, you said post something. Don't just leave it. That's where a good meme comes in. If you saw my post today, I said, where are the Corey named cookies out there? I'm not seeing one person with a Corey name.
In the slow months, we say, stop saying, I'm so happy to bake for you, Josh.
Yes.
In the fast months, you can say, here's content. So happy to bake for you, Josh, because what we say in the slow months is that's a waste of a sale you could have made. In the months where you are truly busy and don't want sales, the thanks for the order, Josh, still says you're there.
Without being like, it doesn't look like you're trying to make a sale. So it more is like a thankfulness, thank you.
And it's content.
Yes.
It's there. I'm there. I don't want to fall out of your feed, but I also don't want your money right now. Two, say to yourself, this will be the best experience I can provide for these people. Corey and I finished the Vendy Blendy on those Vendy Blendy days. They stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. It's grueling. And then the next weekend, we had scheduled a cookie class because
what were we thinking?
I don't know. It's fun. It's exhausting, but it's fun. The next weekend, we scheduled a Christmas cookie class because Corey and I like to put our Christmas class in the first week of December so that we can kind of more enjoy December. But because of how Thanksgiving is a floating holiday and Christmas is not, it did put those within one weekend of each other, right? So Corey and I are complaining that we didn't have 2 weekends off because I can't relax on a Friday when I have to work on a Saturday. But, we're setting up the class. You would have thought these 2 people got sentenced to life in prison. No, we're setting up a cookie class.
That we sold.
And we marketed and these people signed up. And I said to Corey, we have got to take a deep breath and make this the best cookie class they've ever experienced because they gave us their blood, sweat, and tears, their hard-earned time and money, and they bought our Christmas vibes. This is the beginning of their Christmas season.
Here's the thing. I know you're tired. And what you're going to want to do is start your class off saying,
no, we're going to get there in a second.
Okay.
But make that decision that I am going to be the best baker because you spent all year setting yourself up for this amazing December and you're cashing in. You're getting all these sales. You're getting all these leads. How they experience you will determine what next December, how much work you'll have to put in next December.
I want to say how they experience you is if they're going to sign up for another class. It's hard to always market to a new audience, new people to sign up.
It's very expensive. Remember, the cheapest lead is somebody who's always bought from us. So all that effort all year, we finally book out of our Christmas class, but we have a bad attitude.
Yeah, we're the Grinch.
Yeah, we're like, you can see it on our faces we don't want to be there. Well, guess who won't want to be there next year? The same group of people.
Just like Beyonce has the personality of Sasha Fierce, and when she goes on stage, puts on this new persona to really give her audience the best.
Take that deep breath and be like, this will be the best experience they have today.
And sometimes me and Heather, we wanted to complain the whole time. And I said, we can save it for dinner after.
Yeah. You load up on those complaints and we will spill them. But for that hour and a half or 2 hours, depending on how long your classes go, or that 15-minute pickup or that 5-minute pickup, how great can you make that experience? Because you are their only baker right now.
You are. You're the only teacher.
You are able... Right now, you're able to lock in that they'll never go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Or you're able to say, like, well, that wasn't very pleasant. I don't think they enjoyed working with me, so I'm not going to go back.
Yes.
If I go to a restaurant and I'm like, I felt like a bird in there, I'm not going back. I'll give you your 20% tip and you'll never see me.
What really sucks is we're like, how do you market? We market all year long, and then we're our own Achilles heel by shooting ourselves in the foot.
I wish the baking industry was more level.
Spread out.
Like I wish that December wasn't so big and summer wasn't so slow.
Yeah.
But it's just the nature of how Christmas works.
I mean, it goes back to the boundary podcast that we've done. Maybe taking fewer orders in December and having a pleasant attitude about them might be the better move for you going forward than taking every single order and hating your business after it.
I saw some people that they say I only teach Christmas cookie classes
That's smart.
in December because it's an hour and a half or 2 hours and I can teach a bunch of those. I can make the same amount, but my weeks are clear.
Yeah.
To do whatever you want to do for the holidays.
And you know that honestly, if for the extroverts who like to teach the classes and the introverts who like to do the custom orders, it works out.
It frees up. The invisible hand of the economy always figures it out.
Here's the problem. The greedy baker who thinks that if
they
they're a client.
But here's the thing. They're going to have a bad attitude. They're going to make mistakes and they're going to
make mistakes. Yeah. You have to be okay with the fact that if you're not going to take custom orders, your favoriteest client
has to go somewhere else.
Might go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And might like it. They might like it.
Cost of doing business.
I know.
Risk we're willing to take. And the whisk. Corey, this is the one she was jumping to. Don't vent. They are not your therapist. It's easy to be exhausted.
I know.
And Corey and I finished the Vendy Blendy and I'm telling everybody, talking about like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, they're exhausted hearing about this. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm still going to word vomit to you. But these are my family. Now our clients.
Yeah.
Corey and I love this Thai restaurant up the street. It is phenomenal.
Loved. With the D.
So Corey and I have this penchant to just, you find a place you like, keep going.
I love it.
I like it when the wait staff knows their names. I like it when the Coke is on the table, Diet Coke, before we get there. This restaurant had opened up in COVID. It was unfair to them.
I know.
And they were so thankful that we had this recurring support that every Tuesday they could expect us. But then the business owner thought, well, they make me feel good when I vent to them because we're like, well, you got great food. So what we created is a little therapy session. 100%. So every Tuesday she would pull up a chair to the table.
Yeah.
And she would tell us about all the problems with the business and marketing and sales and how this competitor, and Corey and I would pick her up off the floor and say, well, here's some strategies. And then eventually we said, this is miserable for us.
Yeah.
We're not even able to talk to each other.
I mean, we're not even getting a discount on the food. We're paying full price. And
it's like we were paying to be a therapist. So we stopped going there, even though the food and the atmosphere was tremendous. Turning us into therapists was not fun. So Corey in the cookie class, what she references, it felt like, guys, this is such a busy time. That's not what they paid for.
No.
They paid for this to be their special time.
Jolly, Miss Baker showing up.
Corey had us in these really long Christmas hats. They were so distracting. The bopple thing was falling off. But they paid for a great experience with teachers that were excited to be there.
The problem is home baker ownership is a lonely gig. Mm-hmm. And Heather doesn't let us see them. You can't vent post. Here's the thing. You need to get a best friend baker that you can vent to, because it's not the client picking up the order that you're going to say, oh, I've been burdened in the kitchen for 52 million hours. Like, I don't even know if I have children anymore. And
every person that shows up to the door, you're like, this is one person who knows that I'm suffering because they just bought it from me. They just bought my time.
What you don't want is to make your client feel guilty for
ordering
for supporting you.
Because here's the problem with Corey. I'm going to call her out on this. She says she's not bringing this into 2025. New Year,
bad attitude
with family orders.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because I get to my mom's house early and mom's like, is Corey taking orders? And I was like, I don't think so. She's just complaining about all of them. And Summer's like, I am nervous to order from Corey because I'm not sure if she's just going to take the order and complain about me in front of me or behind my back. Sure. So those clients can feel it.
Yeah, and those are my family members. Like, I'm not like no holds barred, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's different with family.
Yeah, because I'm venting about the lady who just picked up late. And they're like,
are your clients hearing about the problems you have with your other clients? Are they hearing about the problems you had with your spouse not supporting you in this busy season? Are they hearing? Or are you Mrs. Claus?
That's what they want.
I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to help. I really enjoyed this one. What a cute set you came up with. And I really hope that whoever gets it, if it's you, I won't tell.
Here's the thing. We know you're busy in the kitchen baking, but what your client picking up doesn't want to see you like your apron on, you have your oven mitt still on.
We're getting to that.
Oh, I did. Okay, go ahead.
You are lovely.
Look, you're side-eyeing me and the cat is side-eyeing me.
Yeah, it's like, girl, you just told her to write that down.
Will you stop wiggling?
But yeah, tell yourself, if you have to channel your own Sasha Fierce, this is going to be the best experience that this person who knocked on my door, who gave me their money, who trusted me with their gift giving process is going to have today.
I know. And they do want to support you, and they're so happy they can.
I would love to support somebody and then be just as excited that I did.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is so great.
I know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, enjoy that.
Yeah.
Corey and I switched accounts, and this new account was like trying to save us all money. I'm like, you're great. You take that money, buddy, and you go take yourself out to lunch. This is great. And they was so thankful. Yeah. And it just felt great. But imagine it's like, clients like you guys.
I know. We have events such about people like us.
To us, I'm going to be like, well, they hate us. So, okay, Corey wanted to jump to this one. Put on, our little sister had this like tricycle. She called him Happy Cappy. So Corey says, put on your Happy Cappy. Smile, brush, clean, fresh faced. It is easy to get that stained shirt on and be like, well, I'm just going to stain that again. You got these people coming to your door. And there's this lady, I think her name's, and forgive me, not the bacon twin, Artie Magoo.
Yes.
Artie, she looks like the person I'd want to take classes from.
Yeah.
Like that lady looks like she popped out of a cookie.
I know.
Like just the vibe, right? I'm sure whoever orders from her, like I think her shoes are custom made to look like cookies all the time. I think it's her shtick.
Yeah.
It's so put together. She just is like, wow, did you come from a fairy tale book? Artie Magoo. We should channel that. And it's so hard. And trust me, people, I'm not wanting to brush my hair and my teeth.
Yeah.
But that's what they want. I was talking to Corey, don't you want, if you hired a real estate agent, would you want to know that they lost their house in a foreclosure, or would you want them to have a pretty nice house?
Right.
Because they're adept at real estate. Okay, so you're baker. Do you want to see the person that's like, oh my goodness, I left my oven on, it's on fire? Or do you want to see somebody who's like real put together? Like, hey, thank you so much. Here's your order details. If you have any questions.
What they don't want to see is your 2-year-old running around with the spatula that you used to make.
Right? Now we don't want to be like, let's make you mix the whisk when I'm done.
Give that back. I need to stir the next order.
Don't forget to spittle in the icing. I need to make
a little water.
So it is hard to be like in the time where you're truly exhausted, in the time where you're like, as soon as I pick up the sword, I'm back in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm going to be covered in flour again. Do it.
You should have seen me yesterday. I had an order coming up between 2 and 3 o'clock. I got home from lunch with Heather at 1:35. I'm running around. I'm turning on the Pura, lighting the candle, Christmas lights on, Christmas music going. I was rushing around to make it look like a vibe because they want to support me. I want them to know that I appreciate that, and that I'm not squeezing their pickup in. That they are the 5 minutes.
Your order. Thank you. Sorry, I got to go over and get my kid.
I know the 5 minutes are going to take from my life that I was going to scroll on the internet anyways. Right. That I can give them my full 100% attention and effort.
You may have stains on your shirt. A quick, cute apron. I know you got a Hadley and Bennett one for your birthday.
Yeah.
Just strap that bad boy on. It covers a multitude of sins. It does. And then your attitude. Just bring that back around. I think mascara does numbers. When I don't wear mascara, people are like, do you even have eyes?
Yeah.
But you put on just a little something, a little effort. And I hate to tell people to do that because I don't do it myself. But I know the difference.
You see me like, and you're like, twins, you don't have young kids. I was kicking the dog toys behind the door. Like it just needs to be a 5-minute presentation.
Just a little brush up because it all goes back into that experience. Like, wow, this person really enjoyed taking my money.
Yeah.
I love that part. And then they really enjoyed fulfilling my order and they enjoyed me as a client.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is you were so happy to take my money, but hated giving me my order. Okay. Then we have this one. Don't write short and curt emails in this holly jolly time.
You are busy.
You are busy. Short and curt emails sent from iPhone. They're
excuse my typos.
Fine. They're the bare minimum of effort.
Yeah.
What you can do, and no excuse now that AI is our little henchman. I'm using AI to like, hey, I have a quick question. Yeah. So I'm using it. I was like, I needed to transfer a YouTube brand account. I said, AI, can you help me transfer a YouTube brand account? So you can use AI. It said, hey, take this email. I know even in Facebook Messenger now it's integrated that you can have AI rewrite your message to make it sound more holly jolly.
Yeah.
So you can say, I will follow up with you in 24 hours and ask the AI. Actually, let me just do this. I've been using the Google Gemini one. I kind of like it.
Isn't that the one they said that's like the best one right now?
Their image one.
Oh, okay.
I think it's still OpenAI is the kind of rewrite. I will follow up with you in 24 hours to sound like a really happy baker. Let's just see what it says. Really happy.
I'm so curious what it'll say.
Okay, I wrote it immediately. Oh, I'm so excited to connect with you tomorrow. I'll be in touch within 24 hours. Option 2, warm and friendly. I'll be sure to get back to you within the next day. Can't wait to chat with you then.
Nice.
Option 3, baking themed. Just like my bread needs to rise, I'll be back with you in 24 hours with a delicious update. Okay, so we don't really have a lot of options. When, I have this Samsung phone. It has that AI built right into it these days. Not sure what you iPhone.
Gmail now has it integrated in there.
So, and even if that's not a thing, I said, I will follow up with you in 24 hours. That's how it rewrote it 3 times. I'd much rather the 3 options than the first, although they communicate the exact same thing and you're busy. These short, curt emails kind of, for people who are really empathic or read between the lines, are like, oh, this person didn't want to work with me.
I know. And while you didn't mean it bad, you're busy. You're in between the oven timer going off and your kids screaming. And you're like, let me just get this out to them. There's just a better way to do it that makes them feel more invited and welcome and not a burden.
Not a burden. We don't want to be a burden. And again, they're holly jolly Christmas baker. Cookies are fun.
The problem with
my grandma said cookies are so fun. They should, venting about some of the dynamics in the group and people that are mean and customer bashing and mean to each other. And my grandma's like, you just don't think with how fun cookies are, how cute they are, that this would be, and it's in every industry. But with our clients, let's not let them in on it.
But listen, when the gingerbread is smiling at you with heart cheeks.
It's amazing how cute the cookies can be and how mean the baker that baked them could be. So yeah, you can, don't keep your emails too short, too curt, although it makes a ton of sense when you're busy. You can use AI to do some heavy lifting. There's a lot of assists that we have out there if we just tap it.
A little emoji goes a long way.
I love an emoji. My dad will be like, girls, we had to put your cat down. Happy crying.
Yeah. Dad loves the little warm face.
The man never met an emoji he didn't want to. So when he sends a thumbs up, I'm like, you're not even trying because you have to send the other ones. So yeah, you can use AI to help you write the emails. Again, AI can help you write better emails and faster. That was instantaneous when it came out. Number 6, last one. Don't complain about the last minute orders. People just don't know the time it takes. Here's the thing. We went, here, please give me your money. I'll bake your order. I'll bake your order. And then in December, they're like, you know what? That'll be a great idea. I'm going to place an order for cookies. And we're like, you idiot.
I want to say most people think of Christmas cookie gifts, orders, last minute. They saw someone else do it. It came to them in the dark of the night and they thought it would be a great idea.
I'm going to add another layer to this. When I think of food that has an expiration date, I think the shortest amount of time possible to the day I need to give it is the wisest decision to make. You guys are like, well, they don't know about freezing. No, we don't. I've never heard about you can put these cookies in a freezer for 6 months and they thaw out better than when you throw them in there. I'm thinking, well, you take all your orders last minute because that's how you keep the freshness.
Yeah.
3 days is completely fine.
I want to tell you that before I ever even had a mixer or made even sugar cookies was even in my mindset, we bought the client some sugar cookies for the first time. And she was like, when would you need them? And I said, I'm flying blind here. But if I said tomorrow, is that way off base? And she was like, it's 3 to 5 days. But I didn't know.
Right. And the baker was educating you. But we don't want to punish people. They're bakers. There are bakers out there whose entire business model is based on last minute orders. It's a strategy.
It is.
And they are wise to do it because you get it.
You get a lot.
Do you know when it truly peaks, the sugar cookie search term? Week before Christmas.
Oh, because people are like,
not 3 weeks out, not 4 weeks out, the week before Christmas. And bakers who are willing to do last minute orders, great for people who do pre-sales or have stuff that's pre-made and say, I can't take that.
Hey, listen, this is your time to put some circles with icing in your freezer.
Eddie printer people, this is your time to shine. What you can do is say, if someone places a last minute order, you can say, hey, I'm totally booked, but thank you so much for reaching out. I'm not sure if there's some options here. Here are some public bakeries that you may be able to get something. And then here's some custom bakers. I'm not sure if they're still open. You can do that. Or strategy here, you can also say, hey, I can't do a custom order, but I do have some DIY kits or I do have some pre-made or
to make something.
Yeah. If you're already there cutting the dough, you could create an extra set of each thing. Some of you guys are really good at I'm going to pre-make platters and have them ready to go for these last minute orders.
I took a mini order, not a small order. They were all of minis, and I typically don't do that. But after having done 5 dozen this past week, that's an easy way to make a little cute gift set that, they were done pretty fast.
Having a bunch of minis ready to go. So you run the risk of what if I don't sell them? Well, you got the week before Christmas to say, hey guys, I've overbaked.
Listen, also, I gave a gift to my
Corey's
UPS driver, to my trash people.
Tell him about the UPS driver. Corey comes to the UPS driver.
It's my USPS lady.
It's a mail lady. And Corey goes up to them and says, hey, I have something for you. She rolls her eyes and says, listen, where do you need it to go to?
Yeah.
And Corey's like, to you. And she's like, oh my goodness, I thought you were having me mail a package. I did not. Where do you live? And Corey's like, you
I'm
already...
gonna tell you, yesterday I came back and it was raining all day. All my packages were inside my storm door.
That's so, it really, you can, that's a form of branding. Like, we're always like, how can we create new? You guys can take these to networking events, to stuff that you baked and weren't able to sell. There's a lot that we can do with these overage of orders, but what we don't want to do is punish that client for the last minute order. You know, I see it and I hate every time I see it. Like, it's one thing to vent privately. It's another thing to take and screenshot these requests and post them in these public baking groups and say, can you believe this idiot? I just can't, because Corey and I get to see how these groups work. The amount of times that people have come to me and said, somebody figured out who I am. They figured out who my client was and they sent the client what I said about them. Would make you think twice before you write just whatever you write in these groups.
If you're not sweet words of nothingness about people who I wouldn't post it.
Corey and I have a big rule. It's no doxing, DOXXING. It's from Reddit, and it's basically don't post any identifying details ever. Yeah. And then Corey and I added the extra later is don't client bash, because what if they read this? So in these other groups, somebody had posted something, had the client's information. They had ran the client through, thinking, well, the other bagels would come as a... There's 47,000 people in these groups. There's 100,000 people in these groups.
Who's related.
Right.
Who knows
so they contact a bunch of people in the group, had the phone number, contacted the client and said, this is what your baker's saying about me. And I'd love to feel bad for the baker, but I can't, because you came in there, you said that stuff, you posted their phone number, and you thought you could trust 100,000 anonymous people.
Event sesh ain't worth it. If you want to, get a little diary, write it in there.
Get you a twin, go to lunch. Get you a sister, go out to lunch.
I know.
They call each other roomies in the college or emotional support, baking besties. Find these people and vent to them, somebody that you can trust, but do not turn these groups into your vent session, and trust that this won't bite you in the butt. And then don't punish the clients. At the end of the day, Corey bakes now, but had asked somebody for a one-day turnaround.
As there. Dope.
We're just clueless.
I'm my own worst client.
You know, it's hard. This freshness thing, I bake fresh. They've been frozen for 2 years. So that's how the Grinch. That's how the Grinch Saved Christmas. It is grueling. It is. It's hard. It's easy to see the client as a bad guy when they're taking away from your own family. But understand that we asked them for this. They trusted us.
You were the bad guy to yourself.
By saying we only have ourselves to blame. So try to have that good attitude if you're feeling burnt out. I want to
just tell you how I work through the holiday season is a small rewards-based system with myself. So if I can get the cookies baked, I get a reward, whether it be a little Starbs, whether it be a Smoothie King on the way to pickup line.
That is such a to me.
It's a little tiny thing to say, Corey, you're rewarded. And I work very well off a rewards-based system, but I am the only one who's going to give me that reward, so I really have to work for my own
It's an honor
favor.
System with yourself, but it really does keep the carrot in front of the baker.
Yeah, so you can say, if I can get the next 5 emails caught up, give yourself a little something, whether it be 6 minutes to scroll on TikTok or
6 minutes is so specific.
7 minutes to watch your favorite show on Paramount Plus.
3.2 minutes.
Listen, we're baking. It's a busy season. You don't got that much kind of time.
So try to keep, if anything, of all of these, if you can only do one of them, I would honestly just put that Sasha Fierce, I'm going to be the best baker when they pick this up. It's only asking for about 5 minutes. It'll keep you from turning it into a event sesh.
Yeah.
It'll lay the groundwork for next year's December.
I want to say, since you've done so good at marketing and that's why you're busy, don't let it stop in Christmas and cost yourself sales next year. Because whatever you do this Christmas, whatever new clients you take on, they can be your best client all year round.
The cheapest client is one who's already bought from you. A warm lead, a recurring lead. These are the business strategies. You already got it. December is a great time to build that Rolodex up. How you maintain that Rolodex is up to you. And that's what we'll get to in January is these follow-up emails, these newsletters, maintaining this. So come next December, you can tap that CRM program and be like, hey, Sharon, you bought from me last year. Would you like to order from me?
Scroll back to the business boundaries and maybe next year ain't going to be so
June, December, May. You can schedule in your own Gmail, schedule a time. I've never seen how late you can schedule them. I'm sure you could schedule it out for a year.
5 years.
Telling me I'm an idiot. And then past you can have that intervention. But those are your options for that. Now, moving on to the Cookie College, I think actually you want to talk about sourdough sellers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Completely free.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Me and Heather talked about it. Over the last year, I've researched it because I got into sourdough early last year, and it's been about a year. I said, you know what? Sweets bakers can turn into sourdough people, but sourdough people can't and probably wouldn't turn into so much royal icing sugar cookie bakers.
Because sourdough bread baking works off economies of scale. Like a loaf can only get so attractive. You have to sell this many. And I'm like, wow, compared to a baker who can build a Rolodex based off of their talents, sourdough people are like, I got to get these bread loaves out the door. And they've got to work. I would say that their marketing is actually more challenging.
It's because you have a short
If we buy with our eyes,
absolutely.
no offense to bread.
Yeah.
But cookies will win then.
At the end of the day, you can say like, my line is perfectly drawn with my royal icing. Bread is like, it's still flour,
what do you call
starter,
that
water.
cut that makes them?
The scoring.
My score is perfectly scored. So Corey said, let's make a Facebook group. That way that the baking group and the cookie groups aren't inundated with sourdough questions because they are different beasts, although we're in the same house.
Yes.
We're in 2 different rooms. So we started this group, Sourdough Sellers. You can go request to join and get you in. And then she contacted the creators of Hot Plate. Hot Plate is a website for baking.
Yeah, it's really specifically made for bread drops. So
bread drops.
So I have 8 loaves on Friday I'm going to drop. I can pre-drop them, so a pre-order, pre-sale, just like with sugar cookies. It's so funny how pre-sale is such a weird word. I know.
Like you can repackage
them.
Or
a bread drop. So you can be like, I'm making 8 loaves only, and you can pre-buy them on Hot Plate.
Very nice. But you can adapt Hot Plate, which Rishi, I think, was the founder. We have no affiliation with him. I just recommended in the sourdough
and I said,
groups.
you know what, I would like to learn a little bit more. Could you do a Facebook Live
But a lot of sugar cookie bakers are moving over to Hot Plate as an option to Square.
The next one who's going to do a Facebook Live in there is Bakesy.
Bakesy's baking cookies, and I think they're less well known in the sourdough group. The concepts there, you're not going to go there and be like, oh my goodness, I did all this marketing I didn't know. It's just going to be a different application. Because that group is so small, though, we're able to still talk about how to make the bread. And Corey's working on a how to get started in sourdough freebie. So
just so you can know. Because I know that cookiers are going to join that. And you could be successful at sourdough.
Corey and I have how do we integrate her sourdough bread into her cookie website? And it's not the easiest transition.
It's almost not.
While they are elbow-rubbing products, they're very, very different.
But what I did discover, and I think I talked about it, on Thanksgiving for our family, I said, what if I could teach a sourdough sugar cookie class? Because you can make sugar cookies with sourdough.
Right.
And they did just great. So what if I could get a sourdough sugar cookie class and then get those people into my sourdough baking class?
That would not be a bad idea. I think drop cookie people will benefit a lot from the sourdough group because drop cookie people are like, I have a less attractive cookie. It's delectable. But I can make a lot of it. I can make a lot of it and work at economies of scale. So we thought this would be a little neat thing. It's Sourdough Sellers group on Facebook. There's the Sourdough Sellers page, and Corey's got the Instagram. Just a fun little other thing.
Yeah, just a lean, mean, small group.
And then we're going to be talking about how to make the sourdough, of which now you're a slave to your sourdough because you got to keep it alive.
Estada.
So you can check out there. The Cookie College is back to its $76 price. However, on January 1st, I will honor the $68 price from when we launched. It was not the cheapest from the event that shan't be named.
Make it a week before December.
New Year, New You.
Yeah.
So our challenge is New Year, New You. When you sign up for the Cookie College level membership, which will be $68, and if you've just signed up at $76, I'll talk to you how to switch that. If you're in the Cookie College, it's everything you need to make December next year what we're talking about right now. If you're I'd only wish
we want to make your business.
If you could say, I only wish I didn't have time to send emails. I have all the time in the world because I didn't sell it. Well, it comes down to a marketing thing. In marketing, and I said to Corey, if people realized it's just consistency over repetitive time, more people would do it. But it's so long that we don't see that instant gratification that we're like, well, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
If you want to do a New Year, New Me, you can sign up for the Cookie College, which will be $68. However, if you're like, that's not what I want, I just want to teach classes. I like what you guys said about that. If you sign up for the class kits today, you can sign up for the class kits in this month. Yeah. December. Mm-hmm. You get all the 2024 classes, which is 12 of them. There's 12 of them.
I fought Heather.
Yeah. Because we can't have the Cookie Class kits just keep adding and adding. Eventually, it becomes just a backwards product for us. So every year on January 1st, it resets.
So if there was a time to buy.
So if you guys don't know how the pricing works, the Cookie Classic kits is $63 a month, and each month you get a new kit. However, each month that passes, you retain the last kit. So if you signed up today, you get all 12 in 2024. However, in January, it resets to the 2025 classes. So if you sign up in January, there'll be one class there.
I know, but if you sign up now,
you get the 12 classes. We're halfway through this month, so you'll also get an additional class that will drop. Which is the next class?
The Galentine's.
It's
going to be
super cute.
It's going to be very cute. It's going to be a hot seller. I can already say that.
So you can get all the 2024 classes for $63. Within that $63, you'll get a new class that drops. You can cancel there. So that means you can get the 12 or 13 classes for $63 one time.
$5 a class if you buy today. You've done the math every year.
I know. I always forget. 63 divided by what? It would be like 13 classes. It'll be $4.80 a class. So, but in January it'll be $63 for that single class. So, if you want to sign up anytime in December, you get that. If you want to do New Year, New Me in the Cookie College, Corey said, even though she acts like I'm the ball and chain, she said the week before New Year's.
Yeah, you get 2 weeks to
to join the Cookie College.
Use your Christmas money. Meet us in the new year.
If you sign up for the Cookie College, you get the 2023 classes and the 2024 classes.
And the 2025?
So that, I know we have 26, so it'll be 27 classes. And let's do that $68, right?
You know what my ball and chain is? It's the Cookie Class.
It's so much work. Someone in the college said I try to make my own class, and now I realize why I pay you guys to do that. That'll make each class $2.50. If you signed up for just that 1 month for the Cookie College at $68. That would be.
We'll make some posts in the group to make it make sense.
I know y'all are busy, so you have a little bit of downtime after that.
Yes. Let's move to the sponsors. If you want to see if there's any text message questions, I
have one.
You do.
The thing that was confusing is you told this person.
Yeah, I'll get there.
You want to give her a precursor?
Sure.
So a couple of weeks ago, we asked, hi, is there an episode about whether or not to offer friends and family discount? I searched and I didn't see one, but I'm struggling with how, and I would love your all's input. I have offered friends and family discount for as long as I've owned my cookie business, but now I feel like discounting orders makes me resent taking them, and I don't like feeling that way. Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm sending this on your birthday, so happy this as well.
Happy birthday. Don't offer them. I don't.
Okay, but she's been offering them. So how do we go from, they're expecting it now because we created it.
So the discount is less and less, or your price is higher and higher.
There you go. I raised my prices, so your discount is still there. And this is a way you can kind of do this. There's no clean way to do this. And a lot of us build our business off of friends and family. That's how you get started. And then you have the friends and family trying to do you a favor, place an order. Everything feels good until you get to this point. Once resentment is there, that means we've got to have a change of pace. So what I would do is say, hey, I'm still doing that friends and family discount. However, my prices have raised this year. And here's what that looks like. Now, however that looks like to you is up to you. Right?
Yeah. So you're like, but twins are ordering on my website. My prices are not raised.
Here's another option.
If you want to do every few orders, you get a discount. So every 4 orders, you get a discount off your 5th order. That's what a lot of people do. What we're trying to do is not just end it abruptly. We're trying to squeeze it out. We're trying to make it less accessible so you're dealing with less of the resentment.
Another thing I really love, thank you so much, cousin, for placing where I'm actually booked, but I really appreciate it. Here's another baker. When you send them to that other baker's not going to give them that discount. They'll see how much this stuff costs. I assume that, and that's a problem with discounting stuff, is that people now think that the value of the stuff is the discounted price. Everything else is overpayment.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, wow, this other baker's charging me $60 a dozen where my cousin was charging me $30 a dozen. It must be a $60 a dozen. You can just be booked forever if you want. It is miserable. It is miserable because we created our own habit with which we want to now end, and they did nothing wrong, but we are resenting them for it. You can also add them to a pre-sale, things that are less customized. Give them the products that are less have more
that you were
margin
already
and less
planning
custom,
to. Absolutely.
And that will be kind of do that, but make it hard to order from you, and then they'll eventually get the message.
It's just like the client that's not your ideal client, and we're a little booked more often. Our prices are a little higher. We don't do every other color.
The not ideal client. This will be that not ideal family discount. And just say, hey, my business is really taking off. You know, I've join this group, this podcast.
Use the thing every baker does. Eggs and butter are high.
Right? Like I'm having to raise my prices because the cost of eggs and butter is ironically just the cost of your discount. But if you feel resentment, you have got to make a change. Even if that's a gradual change, I don't think that saying directly to them, like, hey, I don't want to give you a discount anymore, is the healthiest response. But also take it from me, a person who avoids conflict at all costs.
People pleaser right over there.
People pleaser. You know, never saw somebody I want to please. You're not going to please me. It's fine. It's fine. You have your reasons, but I would love to please you. So I would say tread cautiously, tread carefully. Yes. It's people's feelings. It's the people you got to keep seeing. But you got those subtle tactics that we've used to kind of fire clients without directly firing them. You can start using that on friends and family as well.
Absolutely. So our sponsor number 1, the Backers Co. I feel like after 6 months we can stop saying
what do you think about Frank sitting right there? He's
not happy, but he's not mad.
He's happy. You're also fidgeting a lot. For a dizzy cat, it's going to be wild.
Well,
but he's relaxing.
He keeps trying to put his arm out like this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Okay, the Backers Co., previously known as A-Core Backers. Eventually we'll stop saying the A-Core Backers, but they're still in that weird transition where you're renaming everything. The Backers Co. is a food-safe backdrop. Not only is it food-safe, it's matte, it's waterproof, scratch-resistant. It's what I use for my photos. I love that they have L brackets, so you can turn a flat surface into what looks like a beautiful kitchen. So I took these cutest little gift boxes that I gave to the teachers. I put the red wine one, which is what their recent drop was, against the white matte finish. It was gorgeous. It looked like a Christmas miracle.
Code
sugar cookie, not plural, and that'll give you 20% off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Basha does not sponsor anything. We're an affiliate for them. They pulled a fast one on me.
Why?
No, it wasn't on me. It was just they used a pricing model that I know. So they had their Basha affiliate sale, which is a pretty great sale. They have a Black Friday sale. And then if you buy through an affiliate link, you get an additional $20. Awesome. Okay. And then I'm sure they sold out of the Black Universal Plus. Yeah, the RT. So there was no refurb. Okay, great. Then when I'm like, wow, that was a great sale for you guys, I'm sure. They were like, we're raising our price on January 1. Like now, if you don't buy at our discount, you're going to pay even more. I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy.
Can they still use our discount and get it?
You can get, I don't know how I think the affiliate's always $20 off with their prices. Nice. But like in my mind, I was like, I don't even bake, but I want one before the price goes up.
Well, what is, I think it's sugar.
January 6th. The code for them is sugar cookies as well.
With an S?
With an S.
Oh, with an S.
Yeah.
They're not sponsors, but no, I was
just thinking about that. Yeah. I was like, well.
I just got my Bakety Bake order. That is it's our next sponsor. It's Royal Batch, made by a company called Bakety Bake. It is the best meringue powder I have ever used in my life. It whips up bright white because it has white food coloring in it. It has vanilla extract in it, so it tastes amazing. You can add whatever else you want to it. It all goes well with vanilla extract. And it has corn syrup in it to give you a soft bite. Now, I did buy, and I'm going to use it in my next class, she had the cutest branded mini tester pack. So if you're like, I want to test it out before I buy it, you can buy mini packs. I think there's like 2 ounces in it, but I was going to use them for my cookie class as the gift for our next class that we do.
You look like that stuff's printed gold, man.
Yeah, but it was so branded nice, just like the big bag. It matched. It was cute. It didn't look like janky, like homemade.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked very cute. Like I would be like, I could tell that at class.
Right. Oh, yeah. We were talking in the cookie college about people are like, I make so much money during this Christmas. Here's funny. Okay, we teach this class on Saturday, right? These 3 ladies come in. They're like retired. And they're like, we're actually taking your class, going home and decorating the cookies we're giving out. And they were like, do you have anything we can buy from you? And we're like, no. So Corey gives away the scribes I never want to give away.
I gave away like some pipe bags.
In the cookie college, the not idiots are selling. They have bins of products to sell because so many people come to class, love the experience, and say, what can I buy? Genius. They're buying DIY kits, scribes, cookie cutters.
Maybe we should test it out one day. We should do a ton of cutters.
Yeah.
Do our you can get Bakety Bake Royal Batch at a discount if you wanted to, 10% off with the code TWINS.
Last but not, I have some memes teed up for our last sponsor, nice. Eddie the Edible Food Printer. They said switch over to Marketing Freddy, but I don't know enough about him to feel confident in saying it. I know that it's an icing machine. I haven't been able to see it in real life. But back to Eddie. That's what I know pretty well. Corey has one. I think it's a great product. It ain't cheap. $3,000.
Yeah.
But they have that app for direct printing.
It came back
out.
Nice.
They fixed some line of code or something a little bit over my head. So Eddie, the Edible Food Printer, no discount code. They know what they're worth. But here's the strategy with Eddie. You've spent $3,000, which is not chump change at all.
No.
But you use Eddie to pay for Eddie. Now, I don't like taking on debt, so I'm pro take your orders and allocate. There's a Facebook Live on YNAB, You Need a Budget app, which is great for kind of seeing how those orders can be allocated to paying for an Eddie up front. But if you're like, hey, they have financing, they have like a Klarna type deal through Amazon Pay, or you can pay that $3,000 because you've been such a great baker this year, and Santa was like, give her what she wants. You can directly print on cookies. Now, you heard me mention in today's podcast, those last minute bakers have this whole strategy, and Corey will do that too. She'll be like, I can't do a custom order, but what I can do is print.
I'll print the whole thing.
And people are like, give it to me.
I know.
Corey had a commercial client come, and they were having an open house. They said, we do not want you to decorate. We want you to print our logo on a bunch of cookies. That is what we want. We want that, nothing more. It's pretty crazy to me. And then people are like, it takes the time out of cookies. We're here to make money, my friend.
We're business.
We're business. We're here to increase our margins and decrease our costs. And while Eddie the machine is expensive, the margin on commercial orders is so high and the time investment is so low because you just press print.
Listen, no one's going to argue with you that the cookie that took 8 hours in 52 different colors and piping consistencies is amazing. But they're not in the same category.
Right. I'm not sure that you could spend 8 hours on a single cookie or 2 cookies and make a profit. You can make a piece of art.
You can't.
Right. So there is the time cost in baking, and you're going to see Corey and I are always business centric. That's why you're listening to this. We're here to help you make more sales at higher margins, and Eddie can help you do that. Now, you can check them out at Eddie Printer Users Group on Facebook and Instagram, but they also have the Primera.com website. If you just say, cut it out, I'm going to get me one.
Nice. No Pinterest?
Yeah. My mom and my little sister went to Target, and they found in the sales section a card game called Stir the Pot. It looks like a soup, and there's the noodle spell Stir the Pot. And they had mentioned it's an interesting game. We didn't play it per the game, but it's just a bunch of prompts.
Yeah.
And it was most likely to, and then the question's pretty ostentatious. So funny enough, the first one was most likely to never change her underwear every 5 days. Well, our little sister doesn't like showering because she uses this fake tanner.
Yeah.
So she's very clean, but she does not shower. So we all voted for her, but she was like, but I would change my undies.
So before you go buy it, you must know everyone around the table to some extent.
Yeah, you either have to be, it seems like it was meant for people with friends, which we didn't have. So we did it with our family. It's funny how the game is supposed to be played. You pull the card, it has this question, you tell the person next to you, the person next to you just points at somebody. Like that person knows they're being talked about. You flip a coin, it says, do you tell this person what they've been nominated for?
How do you win this?
You don't win. You just make everybody angry.
About.
So, there's probably, 300 cards?
There was a ton of cards.
But every single one about if the theme was who doesn't shut up around the table, I was like, Heather, I was like,
Heather had a
it was eye-opening to see, because each card has like a theme: who's clean, who's talks a lot, who is moody. But mine was never shut up. It didn't matter if it was like opens her mouth. Heather like talks to strangers. And I said,
most likely to
to
start a conversation in an Uber.
Heather, I'd be like, I could not live with the silence of an Uber. I've never been in an Uber for that reason, to save the Uber driver. So I thought that was pretty eye-opening in terms of blind spots.
I know. I try to be open-minded about my blind. I didn't want someone to give me a crown I didn't know I was already wearing.
Yeah, so Corey gets the one that's like, who's most moody? Corey's like, me, I'm self-nominating. Don't nobody say it.
Why are you so self-deprecating today?
But Corey, so I'm leaving in 2024. My Sir talks a lot.
It's just when there's a prompt, when someone's prompting toward it. If you've said this story 5 times, you've talked to I'm leaving my bad attitude. Sometimes I will have, granted, Heather doesn't have a kid or a husband. Or a dog or a cat. Oh, you do.
Yeah, because apparently when it talks.
He just wants to get down.
Yeah, put him down.
Oh, yeah. Put him down.
But stabilize him. Sorry, my cat changed his mind. Stabilize him. Make sure his cone isn't down. There you go. And we are good for takeoff. Cat is on the wobbly move.
Oh, my arm fell asleep. Oh, man down.
He's got to learn.
Man down.
Okay. He's good. He's going to survive that.
He's already piping hot. My hand's sweaty from holding him the whole time.
So You were leaving your bad attitude. You say, I have no relationship.
So I went home and I said, Nan, I was voted bad attitude queen.
Also by yourself, but okay.
Yeah.
But I agreed.
Yeah. But Nate was like, well, you have a bad attitude because I often have a bad attitude and he put it on you. I said, yeah, stop that.
Corey.
Stop it.
He was trying to hoist you up.
Stop it.
So I thought the stir the pot, some of them were inappropriate. So don't just open
Yeah,
the
don't think it
have
like
somebody
G-rated.
to vet 'em.
Most of them were just
If
absolutely
you're
fine.
at PG-13, rate a person. Bring your friend. I will say the key is that it was on sale. I don't think it was worth the $35. It was worth the $12.
It was
on
$12.
sale.
And if you use
But
your
it
Target
was-
Red Card, 5% off even.
It was an interesting.
It was.
So that's my twin twist. What was yours?
That was mine.
How have my twin vent gifts been going?
Oh, yeah. I missed yesterday's.
Yeah.
I was so busy. I took a last minute order. I didn't have
Don't
a
make
boundary.
me feel like a burden.
So Heather's gift giving, top tier.
Top tier.
Top tier. I've loved every single one.
I'm going to say you stuck the landing with rightly sized gifts of things that I do want. So a lot of travel skincare, which is great because
Yeah.
I hate bringing full bottles of anything, especially when I want to get stuck on the mountain.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, excuse me, let me get my shampoo bottle.
Well, the reason because you had the small box at the beginning, I bought half of the stuff when it was still in small boxes.
So this has been a terrible thing to put together, but in hindsight, what a fun day to wake up every morning with a gift.
You know, if I could have 365 little gifts a day, I would have a better mood all the time.
So far, what's your favorite?
Okay, Heather knew this was going to be filmed because I said I'm going to film yours. So she really went out. I think you had to go above budget.
I came within $1.
No way. Even with all that shipping from different things.
Well, I came out. I love me a spreadsheet, right? So I found all your gifts and the sister and mom gifts, and I got free shipping reaching the threshold.
I just thought Etsy is,
Etsy got me. Etsy got me with the shipping.
Yeah,
because
it's
one
like
is rough,
you
but
can't
some of them are running
with it.
like free shipping.
So Heather got me this. It's a tea towel, and it says "Want to start something," but it's a starters on it. Starter. Then she got me a custom engraved sourdough knife.
Did you already have the sourdough knife?
I had that knife, but we didn't like that one as much as we liked yours.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
I thought I'd give you the even cut. But
It does,
I baked
yeah.
because I need the dough.
It's so funny.
I got that engaged.
What else? Heather gave me this funky lamp. Cute. Archer loves it.
Oh, really? I thought it was fun.
It looks like a Mario lamp that you'd find in the game. So
it was like a
that.
pen holder at the bottom. I was like breaking case of lame gift.
Gave me a cat lamp.
Weird porcelain little cat.
Cat nightlight. Archer loves it.
Weird.
Yeah, he's
I'm glad
chosen
somebody
that
liked
as his. Some skincare gifts. You can't go wrong with that.
It's less fun to unpackage those.
I
think
know.
today's. What was today's? Joanna?
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay, it's skincare.
Oh, it's skincare. What was yesterday?
What's today's date?
Today's the 16th. Oh, it's the 17th today.
Okay, hold on. I'll tell you right here. So, did you open the 16th?
No.
The 16th says you may be a star, but you're not a pimp.
I know what it is.
And 17's 5 cents saved is 5 cents earned, said the wise kitty witty.
What is it?
It'll come together when you open it.
So no, it's like while I don't want to do that again next year, I do want to do it again next year.
Not, now that I
fun.
understand how it works, it is not.
I know
the
it's been
worst
an
idea.
absolute blast to have a gift
We're
today.
doing a white elephant family exchange second annual. Have to spend $50.
So it's like
strategy.
white elephant. Technically, that means a gift you wouldn't want, but we're trying to do gifts people do want. So while
it'd be
we're
popular.
using the
Whenever
word
I want.
very loosely, I almost think Secret Santa-ish would be better.
Except for it's the white elephant where somebody grabs
Someone
and everyone
can-
can steal
yeah.
it. So I told Corey what I'm going to do. $50. I'm going to go to a Wegmans. If you guys don't know what a Wegmans, it's a higher end grocery store here. They have lotto scratcher kiosks.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun to get $51 scratchers that could win $2,500.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get to that. People were forming a line. I felt so awkward because it's not fair that I'm cutting
But I want to
50 of these up.
that people are doing this every year for every little corporate.
I know somebody was just like, listen, I'm getting off my shift. I want to see if I won $1 million.
I'm tired of working.
Right. So I had the way it worked, I didn't realize how these kiosks work. You can only buy with debit card because you get a debit credit. So I put my debit card in and say $50 because I need $50 of these. But there are people forming a line and I can't live my life because I think it was unfair. The other kiosk was down. Otherwise, we would have been fine. So I was $20 left. So I bought 2 $10 cards and I said, I'll just come back. So I went home and I was like, well, I got to use my own $10. Did not work. Still working my job.
For mine.
Yeah.
I ran this by Heather to see if it was good. Headache.
Okay. Corey has this. It must work. Everyone has headaches. It's a universal gift.
Yeah.
So she was doing a headache care package. This very tight
It's a
mess.
head compression that you can put in the fridge. So
and it covered your eyes too, right?
it
Which is smart when you're
to black it out in case if it's a sight one.
Dad will try to get that one.
I honestly, I use mine all the
the
time.
2-in-1 ibuprofen Tylenol.
Yes, and then this, you rub it on your neck and it's supposed to like subside.
That was very good.
So I don't know.
Cousin came to me yesterday and said he was like, "Do you have any leftover ideas? I'm not sure what to get from it."
Did you say the battery daddy? I still think that's a good one.
No, I didn't. I told him the 50. I told him the money wall.
No. The battery daddy is a case for like you never need a battery until you need it. But then where are they?
Organize. I agree, and I love an organized thing. I probably would go for the battery daddy
know because right now everything is rechargeable. I will say the world of batteries is on its way out.
Not,
but when you need one,
you need a battery.
So I thought I'd put like even though.
Would you fill it with?
I know that's the most expensive. It would have been way over.
Look at those like batteries from like nowhere that have a winner.
Yeah. But thanks guys for tuning back into the podcast. We check calendars. We'll be here every single week for the rest.
No plans forever.
But I hope you have a less Grinchmas heart and a more Christmas
spirit.
The
next podcast is Christmas Eve.
Oh well.
We're gonna do it on Monday, the 23rd.
It could be, or we could do Christmas Day since I'll be here.
Christmas Day or a Christmas podcast.
A Christmas podcast.
You guys can welcome us into your holly jolly houses with your family around, and they'll say, "What is that annoying voice of that girl who doesn't seem to not stop talking?"
Okay, let him go.